Today we're going to be looking at ToolChain by RS Met down here. It's a bit complicated. It involves a lot of plugins, not just the one, because they have a lot of plugins. To load one of the plugins, you load up ToolChain, and then you load up in this spot called None. It's a touch confusing, but you click that, and then you click it again, because right now it's just an empty slot, and then you can pick from all these different things. We're looking specifically at Analyzer's Scope, and I should say this is a free plugin. And then it will load up on the side, and you can click it to go to it. So this is it. It's completely resizable, which is always a beautiful thing. And it is a touch finicky. It's got an art angle going for it big time. By default, it'll load up in this 2D view as a vector scope. And there are a few controls you're going to want to know about if you want to get a clear picture of what's going on for information about your mix, if you're not trying to be artistic. So the first one is this brightness and glow. So glow is like how long it sticks around for. So if you take this down, it goes away much faster and you get a much clearer picture. If it's too short though, it can appear flickery and not very clear. So if you bring this up, find a nice value that you want. Now brightness, how bright this line is. And let's go to a color map like black or what is it, blue, green, yellow. They have these different color maps. So let's find a nice one. All right, you know what? I quite like this one. We'll go over to the 1D mode to look at it sort of. This is how I want to look at it. I don't want to look at it from a vector scope perspective, but without this, it's basically a vector scope you can get a picture of from there. Now, in here, you also have glow. So if you mess with glow here, you can sort of see the overlap from previous ones. So bring this down some, and then we change the brightness. You can kind of see how that's going to affect it. So I'm going to leave the brightness at 100 and the glow down around 10 milliseconds. All right, I'm going to use a sine wave to show these next ones because it's a little bit more clear what's happening. So here's spread. You can sort of see that pixels get thicker and we see this line appear. If we get rid of this, it goes away. So I'm going to leave this kind of low. Then there's scale, but this is not scale in the way you might think. It like scales the individual pixels, making it look blocky. Like that. Kind of an artistic option there, so to speak. Then we have density. This is like kind of like the number of points, but there's also a dot limit specifically for that. I'm not totally sure on the difference between density and the dot limit, but both of them kind of reduce it down to a number of points. Frame rate is the frame rate. How quick? Not very quick. Go up to 100 quicker. Let's get to an A. I'm playing A, by the way. A is, for some reason, the note it syncs best to. We'll talk about the syncing here in a bit. You have scale X, scales the X-axis. Scale Y scales the Y-axis. If we do this in the 2D, you can sort of see the effects this has on the image. If we give this, we can make the input a little more interesting now. Let's give it a unison. And maybe bring down the variation. Yeah, some Lissajou curves, always kind of nice to look at. You have phase rotation. You're able to mess with this. In the 1D view, this has sort of a strange looking effect. That's phase rotation. You're probably going to want to leave this at default. Control click to reset a value. Then you have your syncing. The syncing has some oddities to it. So right now you can see the note A is working quite well in the sync mode being turned off. But if I touch this scanning frequency, that's what it looks like. If I bring it back up, it's all blinky. Here are the steps. They're a little weird, but for some reason they work. So if we touch this, it gets all angry at us, right? All blinky. If you go to sync, play a note, it's going to have a hard time. Move the value around. Go back. And you may now have a stable display. If we do it a few times, go back and forth. Like this one's a good one. Now we go back. And it looks gorgeous now. And it's like locked in. I got no idea why this works with some waveforms, but it just does a good job. And it does the best on the note A. So if you're looking for some pretty visuals, the note A is the way to go. So this is their website, and ToolChain is the first option now. When you download it, you get a whole bunch of stuff that goes with it. You can see the versions, a Windows VST64 version, a Mac AU version, and things of that nature. And they even show off the vector scope. They like the vector scope. So pretty cool, but there are a bunch of things. They have a whole bunch of free plugins. Now, if you're unaware, on my website, there is a free plugin database where I just have tons of plugins. They're all totally free. And if we look for oscilloscope here, we can see all the free oscilloscopes that I currently have listed. If you go also up to the databases, you can see other collections, and these are more categorical. So for example, if we go to the oscilloscope database, which this one is fairly complete. This is most of the oscilloscopes on the internet. Every now and then a new one gets added, and I try to add them when they come along. But this has them all, and some ratings, some reviews, so you can get a quick look at the different ones. So you can take a look at this too if you're that interested in oscilloscopes. Quick extra bit here. If you're interested in making the circles, what you need is a sine wave. And then what you could do is just add a bit of unison. Basically, you need two circles with a phase difference between them. And then when you play them, if the phase difference is direct, you'll get a oval or a circle, depending on the phase relationship. But if you have something like a unison with a small pitch difference that's changing, you get a circle. Oh, let's go to the vector scope is what you'll need for this. Like that. And if you play really nice ratios, like a fifth, a perfect fifth, you get these really pretty shapes. If we add an octave, if we do something lower, it's a little bit shorter. If you change the nature of the waveform, you can change the shape. If you play less nice intervals, like here's a fourth, here's a major third. See all the extra motion? There's the third, a minor third. Here's a minor second. A lot going on there. Here's a minor second an octave apart. You can sort of see the octave relationship causes this big movement through it. We go back to a sine wave. You sort of see it from the circle. It's very pretty. And if we want to stabilize it, make it move a little slower, you can make this pitch difference even smaller. So when you play a chord, here's a root, octave up, fifth, seventh, a third. Maybe we simplify this down. They're kind of fun to mess with. So if you've ever messed with Lissajou Curves, which is the name they have, check them out.